Hare Krishna, and welcome to Fighting with Krishna again. So basically, today's video is about material attachment and detachment. So I'm going to start off with reading a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 2.56. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. I'll just let that sink in for a minute. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries. So one who, no matter what happens to him, materially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, he's still on a nice, peaceful mental level, then he's basically a yogi, is what this is trying to say. So, like Jay Shetty says, detachment is not that you don't own anything, it's that nothing owns you. So basically, you're able to navigate from moment to moment without being too consumed, without being too weighed down. So if a tragic life event were to happen, you can put it into context and you know that that one moment is not there to stay, it's there to pass, you know? For example, let's say this pen, I'm not thinking that it's going to be here forever. I know that material objects are perishable. And in fact, I've got a story for you. Yesterday, my racing bike got stolen. It was a very, very nice Rally 1970 racing bike. And it got stolen whilst I was leafleting. Now, I had that bike for about 4 years, possibly a little bit longer. And I went a lot of places with it. And it actually struck me straight away how much I was going to miss the bike, how much attached I was to the bike. And then, obviously, I'm still upset at the fact that someone stole my bike. But putting it into context, I know that material life, that's what happens. If we get too attached to material objects, then they start consuming us, they start owning us. We should use objects and be comfortable, have a nice life, but don't become too attached to the point where we don't know what to do with if that object or if that set of circumstances were to end. Everything is constantly changing, and the material world around us can't stay the same. We can't stay the same. We keep growing, we keep changing. So if you're faced, or not if, when, because it's inevitable, we're all going to lose things and moments are going to pass, environments will change to be against us. Know that it's meant to be. It's all a happening and it's meant to be. And if we're not attached with the material life, with objects, with moments, then we're truly free. As it says here, a sage. We become sages in our own right, It's very hard to say, oh, I'm not attached to anything, and actually be not attached to anything, because everything's got its own pull on us. Maybe a special pendant that you've got, your Samsung watch, your presents, your dog, your cat, everything, even people, With people, it's a bit trickier because obviously people are not inanimate objects, and to say don't get attached to people is impossible because it's our human nature to get attached to people, to interconnect and want to share. But that doesn't mean that we should give up our dependency to someone else and become too codependent on that person. And that's when the over attachment starts to happen. And we see this in abusive relationships where the female or the male getting abused is so attached and so dependent on that person that they don't want to leave him or her because they think that without them there'll be nothing. Without them they won't live, you know? And that's not the case. As you know, that's not the case. So back to my racer. It's stolen. I'm not going to get it again, but something better is going to come, or something bigger, or maybe something different. Always think like this. You know, I got some comments when I posted on my social media that, oh, I'm sorry that your bike's missing. I hope you're not too upset. And yes, again, I say I am upset. But there's a difference in between being upset and understanding what's going on. Don't be perplexed. Don't be overwhelmed by the event. Like, I've had my motorbike stolen. I've had my PS4 stolen. That was last year. And I only had it for a year. I had a few games, got that stolen. My Game Boy, that seems to be missing, and that was a rare collectible. I mean, that was collectible. Also my Game Boy Advance, and a bunch of other things, you know. My basketball hoop, I had a big hydraulic basketball hoop. I was very, very in love with that basketball hoop, actually. I was practicing my slam dunks. I couldn't carry that to the new location where I'm at now, so it stayed in the old place. Cars have been stolen. No, sorry. Well, yeah, lost, damaged, broken. Clothing, wallets, watches, hats. And obviously I am a scatterbrain, so a lot of that was me just leaving stuff. But as I've matured, I like to think that I'm taking care of things more properly, and that it's truly now life taking things from me. And as spiritual people, or like me, a Hare Krishna devotee, we tend to think that if something happens like that, it's because of it's meant to happen. It's for a reason. It's Krishna saying, you didn't need that at the moment, or it was too much, or you had too much, or you had too little, so you get more. It's not always that we get things taken away from us. It's also that we get too much added to on us. So imagine that you've got hardly anything, and then all of a sudden you've got a lot. Then you'd need to cope with over accumulation. So we get tested in different ways, and the moral of the story is to try and detach from all of the material, especially material platform. And that doesn't mean become a yogi and start to just have one t-shirt, one pair of underpants, live in a cave, don't have hardly anything. It doesn't mean that. You can have a lot. You can actually have a lot of different things. Put them to good use. Share them if you can. Gift them when they're not working anymore, or try to repair them. But the main thing is, don't get controlled by that object. Don't be thinking, oh, without this pendant, I can't live. Or this watch, I'm going to look ugly without it. That's the danger of this, okay? So Hare Krishna. Hope you enjoyed that little video. If you've lost anything, or if something's been stolen from you, please comment and let me know how you're feeling. You can cope with it. Don't worry, we'll become strong. And this is about a growth mindset. So we're constantly wanting to grow and develop ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Hare Krishna. Enjoy the rest of your day.